In the sprawling hills outside Medellin, past the high walls and armed gates, lived the cartel kingpin Don Alberto Morales, a man who ruled with gold in one hand and blood in the other. And in his house there was a woman no one noticed. Her name was Isabel Duarte, a nanny, quiet, unassuming, small-framed, mid-50s with salt-threaded hair tied back in a braid she never wore loose. She didn't smile often. She didn't speak unless spoken to. Her presence was like wallpaper, constant but forgettable. She had been there 16 years. Isabel had arrived at the Morales estate in 2007, hired to care for Don Alberto's newborn daughter, Camila. The girl's mother had died during childbirth, and none of the housemaids wanted the burden. But Isabel took it. She lived in the servant quarters, ate alone, slept lightly. She changed diapers to the sound of gunfire in the distance. She taught lullabies while men in suits counted bricks of cocaine in the dining room. She bandaged scraped knees while sicarios practiced shooting in the backyard. She was always there, but never seen, and she saw everything. Don Alberto trusted her, not because he respected her, but because she had no voice. She wasn't family, she wasn't crew, she was the help. But she raised Camila, she taught her to read, to swim, to pray. Don Alberto once joked, "If I'm killed, the kid won't cry for me, she'll cry for Isabel." Isabel only nodded. What no one knew was that she'd been secretly recording the estate's operations for over a decade. Ledger books, bank account numbers, routes, stash locations, cash drops. She documented it all. Not to sell it, not to expose him. She was waiting. In 2023, a housemaid named Lena, just 19 years old, was caught stealing food for her sick brother. Don Alberto didn't even flinch. He had her shot in the garden, buried under a rose bush. Told his daughter it was a dog that had died. Camila didn't believe him. She was 16 now, too smart. That night, Camila asked Isabel if it was true. Isabel looked her in the eyes and said nothing. But something inside her snapped. She waited 6 more months, observed, tracked patterns. Don Alberto had a secret vault behind his wine cellar, cash only, untraceable, reserved for bribes, emergencies, and rainy days. Isabel had seen it open 52 times. She knew the keypad code by heart. 0415, Camila's birthday. She also knew that once a year, on the anniversary of his wife's death, Don Alberto spent the entire night at the family mausoleum, drunk, surrounded by guards, unreachable. That night, the house would be lightly staffed, no security patrols inside, just her and the walls that never spoke. She waited for that night. April 15th, 2024. Isabel walked down to the wine cellar with a laundry basket and a hand towel tucked over her arm. She disabled the CCTV with a magnet rig she had hidden inside a soapbox. A trick she'd learned watching the men disarm car alarms. She pulled back the shelving and typed the code, 0415. The steel door clicked open. Inside, metal racks held stacks of bundled cash, US dollars, Colombian pesos, and euros. Isabel ignored the euros. She knew which cereals were marked. She took $7.50 million, the cleanest, smallest bundles, and placed them in vacuum-sealed freezer bags, hiding them beneath towels in her laundry basket. By midnight, she was gone. She didn't run to the airport, or the border. She walked half a mile to the back of the estate where the land dipped into thick jungle. A boy with a motorcycle waited. Her nephew, a mechanic from Bogota. He didn't ask questions. They rode through jungle trails to a hidden road, switched to a truck, then a boat. By sunrise, Isabel was off the grid. At 9:47 a.m., Don Alberto returned home to find the vault door ajar. He thought it was a joke, a glitch. When he saw the empty racks, he flew into a rage so violent, 2 guards resigned that day. He questioned everyone, but the housemaids only said, "She left her apron, that's all we know." The cartel scoured the country. They checked airports, bus stops, and borders. They tortured men who had once said hello to her. Nothing. Isabel had disappeared like a ghost. The cartel dug into her past. Isabel Duarte, born in Cali, Colombia, mother of 2, widowed, no criminal record, lived quietly for decades. But then strange inconsistencies surfaced. Her birth certificate had been issued 4 years late. Her children had died in a fire, but no fire report was filed. In 1994, she had worked at a law firm known for laundering cartel funds, briefly under a different name.
I think she was playing a long game, maybe even before she became a nanny.
But no one could prove anything. Months passed, then years.
And then the story started. A nun in Quito said a woman donated $50,000 to rebuild a school, paid in US hundreds wrapped in freezer bags. A doctor in Lima said someone anonymously covered surgeries for 6 trafficking victims. A girl in Guatemala said a kind older woman helped her cross the border, then disappeared.
All the women said the same thing. She never said her name, just smiled and vanished.
On her 21st birthday, Camilla received a package with no return address. Inside, a small music box that played a lullaby only Isabel used to hum. A note handwritten in neat script. Menina, I will always be watching. Your heart is strong. Choose better than your father. Love, I... Camilla burned the note. She never told her father. In a small island town off the coast of Portugal, a quiet older woman tends to a garden overlooking the sea. She sells herbs and honey at the local market, pays in cash, speaks little. Her name is Ana Costa. She keeps no photos, no phone, no mirrors in the house. But on her nightstand, she keeps a single object. A worn photograph of a baby girl, wrapped in a shawl, sleeping in her arms. Every morning she kisses it before watering the basil. In total, $7.5 million remains unaccounted for. The cartel has stopped actively searching. Don Alberto Morales? He was assassinated by a rival cartel 2 years later, shot in the back while attending Mass. Camilla left Colombia after his funeral. Her whereabouts are unknown. And Isabel? No sightings since 2025. No fingerprints, no DNA, no trail. But in certain villages, in border towns and whispers, they say La Nana Fantasma lives on. A woman in the shadows, a voice for the voiceless, a ghost with a stolen fortune and a reason to vanish.